So now let's go into the stats. And we're going to do a December 2020 review, kind of look at how that is and how we ended up. And yeah, there's some interesting things to talk about here. So basically looking at the amount of homes sold in 2019, we had 222. In 2020, 216. I've been waiting for this to happen because it's only a matter of time when you have such low inventory that you have to eventually drop in the amount of homes that you sell. So we did see that in December, just by 6 homes. So I mean, still pretty flat, but we are seeing it kind of slow down based on that inventory. So 2.8% decrease in homes. And again, this is going from Blackfoot, Bonneville County, and Jefferson County. So here we kind of look at the breakdown of where these closings were for the year. And as we can see, what's the hot point? If people are saying, hey, what's the... December. This is for December?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So this is for December. December closed, right? Yeah. Correct. So if people are asking, what's the hot point for homes, it's kind of pretty obvious where that line is. 200 to 400, says Nicole. Yeah, I mean, anything under 500, I mean, that's a moving market. And so when people say, hey, I've got a $750,000 house, I hear the market's hot, what should I do? Well, it might not be applicable to them as much, but anybody under 500,000, it's a moving market. And interesting that between 400 and 500,000, the average days on market was 21, way lower, than 300 to 400. Which to take that up to 62, there had to have been a couple of outliers that were on the market for a long time.
There were a couple in there that have been like hundreds of days.
Yeah, and that's just how it works. But anyway, very interesting. So nice little breakdown there.
That's 90% of the solds under 500,000, Chad.
Yep.
In that month. Interesting.
Yep. And to think only a few years ago, 90% of our solds were about 250 and under. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so as far as homes sold overall for 2020, we are up. So in 2019, we had 2,948 homes. In 2020, we had 3,183 homes. So we're up 7% overall. It'll be interesting. I'm really curious to see in the first quarter of 2021 if our inventory stays low, to see how those numbers will compare with 2020's numbers, because those are some really, really strong numbers in 2020. So
I think this is a really good in the grocery store quick stat. I say, with COVID, how did the year look? Did it really affect you? Say, we had a 7% increase in this year over last year. So we're selling more houses, and even with COVID, we're up 7%.
Yep. Nicole says a great time to buy because of historical increase in price, very safe investment, and an incredible time to sell too. I mean, I was talking with someone that we ran into yesterday, and they put their home on the market. Zillow said 306. They decided they would shoot the moon and try 340, and they got 350. And he thought 306 was high. So you're kind of seeing that with a lot of people that own real estate right now. They're just getting more than they even think. So
speaking of kind of jumping off of Nicole's comment about investment, if you said to someone, hey, if you're worried about investing, if an investing is a worrisome for you, this is the only investment you can make that someone will insure. You can get insurance on this investment, but nobody insures stocks or bonds or anything else. This is a solid, safe investment.
Never heard of it like that before. So, okay. So average price point. This is
gonna blow your mind.
This one blows my mind. So basically, 2019 average sales price was $246,000. 2020, almost over $100,000 more, $350,000.
December to December, so that's just that
December
one
to
month.
December, yeah. $350,000. It's crazy. But I mean, when do you get the top dollar for your house? I mean, it's this time of year is when you get historically the best percentage of list price is in December, January, February.
This is another great shocker stat. Say, how's the market? Well, just so you know, the average price December this year over December last year was up 42%. That's a good shocker stat, even though it doesn't indicate the whole market, but that's a good shocker.
It'd be interesting to see. Well, I guess never mind. My mind's going around with different thoughts of stats. So anyway, market overview for 2020. So the average sales price. So overall, it was 245, very similar to December's numbers. And then in 2020, the average was 292,000. So overall, we saw pretty much a 19% increase in average sales price in our area. That doesn't mean that 18% appreciation rate, but some people are seeing that, but not everybody. So
this fact that in East Idaho, in our 3 counties, our average sale price is almost 292. I mean, almost 300, and that's based on 3 counties for an entire year, is the craziest stat I've ever heard.
I'd almost call it bonkers.
I bet
your word, Jess?
Bananas.
Yeah, it's bananas. It's bananas.
Bananas.
Okay, so here is another thing, and this isn't new news to us. I mean, we're kind of have been seeing this, but we're seeing an increase. The list of sold price in December was up 2%, and 2% is a lot when you're talking about net. This is sellers net. They're now netting 2% more in their home than they were in December, month over month, from 2019. Year over year, yeah. So 2019, 99.1%, which is amazing. And in 2020, in December, it was 101% of list price they were getting for their home. So let's see what that looks like year over year for the full year. Pretty much, we're seeing an improvement, but it's still pretty much full price. 0.5% increase, 0.6% increase, seeing 99.6%. And in 2020, just a little over 100% increase in list to sold percentage.
The fact that we're at over 100% for the entire year cumulatively is bananas. Bonkers bananas.
All right, Jeremy, take over on this. Tell us about average days on market.
You got it. So the time of marketing your home is decreasing. So what do you think that means as a buyer? Do you have more time or less time to make a decision? Less time, right? Because homes are selling quicker. And a day or two is something, but when it drops 6 days, and look at the percentages, is almost 16%. And that's December year over year. So overall on the year, it's a 5.8% decrease. So we're about 33 days on the market on average. What's crazy is the next slide here, where the current homes on the market is 97. Last month there was 98. And in Bonneville County, what was the number the other day, Chad? Was it 57?
It was just a little over 60, but I mean, it was 43, I think, with single family only. And then you throw in manufactured with land, condos, townhomes, and a few cabins. It was just right over 60. So
if you're planning to move into the city of Idaho Falls, just know that there is limited inventory, and there's 5 or 10 things that you need to do before you go look at houses, just to make sure you're prepared. So keep that in mind, because things are moving quickly.
Jeremy, I might throw in just some historical stats from this year on this current homes on the market. We've been over a 10% decrease on homes on market since July. And in November, it was 33% decrease. So we've been 13, 15, 16 down. The fact that we stayed strong from November to December is a pretty good sign for us. That's because it's been going down and down and down. So the fact that we held is a good sign.
So as the inventory goes down, remember the slide that Chad talked about earlier, the number of transactions has actually, do you remember? how many homes sold last year, more or less than the year before? 7% more is the number. And so the inventory is decreasing, but the buyer activity is increasing. So more homes sold in 2020 than in 2019 with that decreased inventory. So that's where you're really seeing that compression and the values or the sales prices going up because supply is low. So here's the average days on the market per price range. You can see there below 500,000 is where the action is. That 3 to 399, that's probably the one you were talking about, had some strange thing.
Yeah. And these guys, these are the homes that are sitting on the market as of today.
Right. And so that probably tells you that you can't get any absurd number for your house, but you can get what market will bear. And that's, looking at the past sales and the current homes on the market. So those are the things you want to look for. All right. So let's talk about is this Idaho Falls City?
This is Idaho Falls, all 5 Idaho Falls high school boundaries.
Okay, good to know that. So all the Idaho Falls high schools, there are only 39 houses available. And so when you talk about absorption rate, if no other homes come on the market, it's only going to take 1.25 weeks for those 39 to be bought. Think about that. We're a typical balanced market gives us 6 months of inventory. We're looking in terms of weeks now that the activity is so high that all 39 of those will sell in the next 1 week. So you better be ready. You better be qualified and know what the other homes are selling. And so you just need a professional. So here's where those homes are per price range. If you're under 200,000, I just can't believe there's only 3 houses. Isn't that crazy? Under 3, and then the 12, and then you got your average days on the market in that last column.
Used to be you get pre-approved for 175 and be like, yes. Now you're pre-approved for 175 and you're like, oh, I have 2 to choose from.
That's right.
Well, and that area between 200 and 300, there's some houses in there really pushing their value. These guys would have been the 150s, and they're really trying to maximize that. So that's why there's a little bit more inventory sitting there. But it's at 37 days on market, so on average.
And you're probably wondering, well, I see a lot of for sale by owners. So let's go to that next slide there, because there are a bunch. In Bonneville County, there's 18, Jefferson County 3, and Bingham 3. So there's 24 homes out in the market right now that are listed for sale by owners. And at the end of the day, we end up working with a lot of these folks, and we have access to that information as well. So that's.
I have to say on this, we cannot trust this. This is only information I've gotten from Zillow. They could be sold. They could be not there. They could be, so I just can use what they've got, but disclaimer, we know the A in Zillow stands for accuracy.
There is no A.
There it is.
And that's
if
true.
You pronounce it Zilla.
Zilla. And that is interesting, because if you are hoping that one of those is available and you've made plans to go look at them, I don't know percentage, but I'd probably say 85% of the time Zillow is not accurate. And so you're going to get your hopes up and think, change your whole plan and then find out that it's gone. So
yeah. Best thing to do is call your agent and have them do the research.
So crazy 2020. We're in 2021 and it's looking about the same. Rates are staying low. We should be seeing, a continuation of 2020 into 2021. It'll be interesting to see how the economy responds with the new presidency. I think that's going to be a big part of this. And if rates do increase, we may see a little less increase in values next year as buyers' ability to borrow money at low rates it starts to decrease and their monthly payments go up, and so they won't be able to afford quite as much on a purchase price. So, but here's for 2021. I think it's going to be great.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I'm going to pick up the baton and talk to you a little bit about Nosy Neighbors. So I just want to let you guys know who we visited this past month with Nosy Neighbors at some of our local businesses. some really fun things. In-Finger Insurance, they call them, they're the funky insurance guys. He insures things that nobody else insures. Things like dams. That was his favorite one. He said, I insured a dam once. Quality Home Fitness, man, they said there was a huge increase. There's actually a shortage of home fitness equipment because the gyms all had to close. So there was a huge run. So a great thing about Quality Home Fitness is they've got great prices, but they also, you can get on a list and they can watch for things for you. If you're looking for a treadmill or a step climber or something like that, they can take care of that. Cocoa Beach was awesome. More than just a tanning salon. They have a whole bunch of different aesthetics options inside of there. Eagle Rock Gallery was gorgeous. Just some beautiful local artists and local photographers that are award winning. Really a great thing to have. Grand Peaks Prime Meats, man, they used to be just servicing the restaurants and now they've opened to the public and you can get some amazing meat. We learned some really amazing things about when you buy a hamburger from the grocery store versus them, what they use to create those that hamburger, and they want to make it accessible to everybody. The Artsy Aussie was really fun. This Australian gal who has some really amazing, beautiful colors. East Idaho Aquarium, if you haven't been there or taken your kids, or if you go, it was really fun. They've really got a great setup and their exhibits are amazing. You can swim with the sharks for a birthday party. I mean, who would have thought about that? So super cool. Splash self-serve dog wash, a huge thing. We've almost gotten more views on that than anything else. We are a dog loving area and nothing's worse than having to pay $50 to wash your dog or you don't wash it at all or wash it in the tub. They have an amazing setup. The lady there also, Tina, was so knowledgeable at helping you understand food. They have an amazing selection of toys and food and leashes and dog beds and a really cool local business if you have a pet. I would encourage you guys to check that out. And then last is Easy Detailing. And this was really cool. The owner's name, it's not easy like it's easy. His name is Easy. He's got a Spanish name, Isaias or something like that. And no one can say it. So everyone just calls him Easy. So it's super cool that is actually his name, Easy. And they're a cute young couple. Really, he's taken a lot of education to detailing. And actually, if you mention the video, you get 10% off your detailing. But they are a super fun, great couple. And I encourage you guys to take a look at them. They were awesome. What do we have coming up? We've got some really cool things. We just filmed yesterday a really cool behind the scenes in Idaho Falls. The mayor is trying to put on some things to lift the spirits of Idaho Falls. And we went to some places that you probably would like to see inside. We saw the inside behind the baggage claim at the airport. We looked at the new expansion of the airport. We went up in the rafters.
They're adding three new gates to the airport. So they're doubling the size
Huge expansion. We went up into the rafters. Chad walked on the slats up above the Civic Center. We climbed the ladder. Chad climbed the ladder all the way to the top of the Willard's Art Center. We went, where else did we go, Chad? We went inside the fountain at Taylor's Crossing. If you didn't know you can go in there, you can't, but there is an inside to that fountain, and we went in there, and it was actually a lot bigger than I thought. And then we also went and saw the turbine that's under the Snake River that runs Idaho Falls Power, one of the turbines. I mean, really cool. So behind the scenes in IF is coming up. We have
that would have been fun.
All right, Jeremy. Thanks, Jer. I forgot to invite Jeremy. We have Fluff Ball House Call. So if you don't want to take your dog down to get it taken care of and groomed, but you want to have somebody else do it, Fluff Ball House Call comes to your house. So that's coming up. Amber and Ivy Boutique. It's a really cool new clothes shop that's run by the two local gals. Hands of Hope Hospice. Smash It Therapy. There's a new rage room in town where you can work your rage out, and Smash It Therapy. And then possibly Picasso, where you can go in and have someone help you as if you have an artistic bone and you want to get started. So anyway, some fun nosy neighbors coming up.
Excellent. All right. So who's had some success stories they want to share? Buyers and sellers.
Well, shout out to Connie because with her magic, we moved up a closing date to close today, yesterday morning / afternoon, and she made it happen. So thank you, Connie, as always. You're amazing.
I'm giving a shout out to my buyers who have all been very flexible, because we've had 3 deals that were supposed to close yesterday, and they've all been moved back more than a week. And they're just, they've just been so great. They're like, stuff happens, holidays and all this stuff. So my buyers have powered through some frustrating times. I'm proud of them.
Good deal.
And I mentioned this last week, but I want to revisit a closing that happened last week. But Rochelle and Connie tag team making sure that our clients that closed last Monday had a clean home, and it was more than a nightmare. And so those two were incredibly supportive in making that happen. And we've got a recommendation for a cleaner now for us. And then on top of it, pitched in to help get the house clean too. So anyway, a great team effort.
And shout out to Abby for cleaning the house as well as representing the people. So good job.
A really good bathroom cleaner.
Good deal. All right. Who else? Or who has an affiliate partner recognition? Who went above and beyond?
Again, just on that story, Breaking Clean is the cleaners. So they did a really great job.
And how did you find them?
Rochelle found her.
Oh, Rochelle, that's right.
Yeah, I actually Googled house cleaners for Idaho Falls, and I got like 12 different names, and I just called every single one of them, and Ryan for Breaking Clean was the only one that answered the phone that day. And of all the people I did finally talk to, he was the only one willing to go on a Sunday right after New Year's and take care of it for us.
Wow.
So Ryan is awesome.
So
He was
good.
really good. He was really good to work with over the phone. He likes text messages, just in case anybody knows or wants to talk to him. He really likes text messages, and yeah.
You make sure to write him a review on Facebook and Google.
Yeah, that'd
Absolutely.
be good.
Yeah, for me, I don't know, Abby, how was he working with you? You worked with him personally. I just worked with him over the phone.
Oh, they were fantastic. I just I can't sing their praises enough, and I felt like they were really reasonable with what they charged, especially given the mess. And my clients were like so overjoyed, like they were like, it's like it's new, and it was like not like it was new when they lots of cat feces, and
Ugh.
yeah, it was bad.
When Ryan called me on Sunday morning, he was like, he goes, "This is bad, Rochelle. This is really, really bad." And I'm like, "Okay, let me get the agent to get a hold of you."
All right. Well, good job. Will you post their info in Slack, Abby or Rochelle? Either one. All right. Is this the last slide?
Last slide.
Last slide. Okay.
That was the stats, Jack.
All right. There are the stats, everybody. Now we know what's going on. And the market's moving. I was just looking up those 3 houses in Idaho Falls under 100 grand. 2 of them are already pending, and 1 has a contingent offer on it. So, I mean, it's just, you go fast. I mean, you got to go fast, which means we have to be prepared with our clients. We have to make sure they're aware of what's going on, and you guys are doing a great job with that. So keep up the good work.
If you want to be in the know on the value of your home, then click on the link or give us a call.
You may feel like prices are high, but there has never been a better time to sell your home and buy a home. Call us and we'll explain why.
Our team has outpaced the market in dollars per home sold and time on the market. If you want to see how your home would sell and how much it would sell for, give us a call.
If you love the idea of having someone to contact at any time, that's the benefit of a team. Give us a call, let us talk about your process and how you can have a better experience, a more satisfying experience in real estate with Murdock Manwaring Company.